Hello and welcome to the email address capture module. My name is Michelle. This module is self-paced, so if at any time you need to pause the video, you may do so. This module covers email address capture rules, common domain names, audio controls, timing out, call dumping, and email capture examples. Sometimes the caller's name is displayed above the email capture field for reference to assist in capturing email addresses containing their name. For example, if the caller says,
John Smith, 2017 at yahoo.com,
but does not spell it, you can determine John is spelled with an H based on the spelling of the name in the caller's name field. Use implied logic during email capture. If the caller only says,
Kelly at Yahoo,
assume they meant at yahoo.com. This is also true if the caller misspells the domain name. Use this rule for all common domain names. For example, if the caller says,
Frank at gmail.com,
capture at gmail.com. Listen carefully and submit what makes the most sense. If the caller says and spells their email address as
Bob Smith 2015 at gmail.com, POPSNITH 2015 at gmail.com.
remember that certain letters sound similar and adjust accordingly. T, P, E, D, B, and V can sound alike. S, F, and X can be confused. Letters such as M and N, C and Z, A and H, and Q and 2 can sound similar. It should be clear that Pop Smith 2015 is incorrect, and Bob Smith 2015 at gmail.com makes the most sense. Be sure to read back all captured email addresses before submission, checking for typographical errors. This is an essential step in the successful capture of email addresses. For example, rereading a capture of Earl Stevens at gmail.com when Earl Stevens at gmail.com was heard in the utterance will allow you to quickly notice a mistake and immediately correct it. Use the previous attempt field to see what was captured prior to receiving the utterance. This comes in handy during the email confirmation prompts when the caller is trying to correct the previously submitted email. For example,
It's JOHN.
in this example, the caller did not provide the entire email address. Instead, they only mentioned what needed to be changed. Type the email address displayed in the previous attempt field and include the H in John as stated by the caller. Here is a list of common domain names callers may use. Take note, some email addresses have domain names that follow a different format. Take the email addresses created by Roadrunner, for example. A department, business, or location name typically precedes the rr.com portion of these emails. The following are sample Roadrunner email addresses. Pause the video for review and continue once you are ready. Keep in mind that the audio controls can be used to modify the playback of an utterance. In particular, the page-up key found on your keyboard is exceptionally useful. This key can rewind an utterance by 1 second every time it is pressed. Use of the page-up key is often preferable to replaying an entire utterance, which can be done by pressing the home button. Successful utilization of the audio controls can aid in the capture of complex or harder-to-understand utterances. Do not delay submitting an email address once it has been accurately captured. Waiting additional time before submitting may result in the utterance timing out. Delays caused by this behavior needlessly frustrate the customer and lowers the analyst's quality score. While reviewing captures for accuracy before submission is a best practice, don't let this activity lead to the utterance timing out. For example,
Shane Baxter at att.net.
Do not submit a captured email address while a caller is actively spelling their information. Analysts should avoid handling utterances too quickly or submitting utterances too early. These actions are regarded as cutoffs or call dumping. Call dumping is the intentional and hurried response to an utterance that has not yet provided a clear intent. Call dumping negatively impacts both the caller's experience and an analyst's quality score. Listening to the caller's complete utterance is the only way to ensure proper handling. For example,
My email address is customer@outlook.
In this example, the IA submitted a response before the utterance was completed. Always listen to the caller's complete utterance to ascertain their full intent, even if you feel confident of what the caller is going to say. Repeated and deliberate instances of call dumping jeopardizes your position within the interactions program. Refer to the Program Compliance module for complete details. The following examples demonstrate proper email address capture.
Yahoo, not Gmail.
Notice that the previous attempt field has the customer's email address listed as dcoates@gmail.com. The caller did not state their full email, but because this information is already provided on the IAD, capture their email address exactly as stated, noting the necessary changes. dcoates@yahoo.com.
It's Sean Burns at AOL.com.
Although there are several ways to spell Sean, the name field displays the caller's name as Sean Burns, so use the provided spelling of Sean.
Dave Taylor 1234 at yahoo.com. That's DAVETAYLOR at YAHOO.com.
Capture the full email address, including the number. This concludes the email address capture module. Email address capture rules, common domain names, audio controls, timing out, call dumping, and email capture examples were covered. Now complete a simulation to reinforce these concepts.